Okay, everybody, welcome back to my channel today. I'm Kevin, and today we are going to back to our Second World War topic. In the last topic, we already talked about how that the Japanese draw America into the Second World War, and today we are keep going on the story when the America take back what is lost, make back its strength, and make the encounter. Of course, during this time, the Japanese also tried to do everything they could to expand their territory, making the empire, and also like taking their power from the other countries that they conquered and prepare for the encounter that they know they cannot dodge from the America. But at the end, we both know that the nuclear bomb was such a terrible thing, disastrous, and it's killed thousands of people just directly inside Japan. And also, going beside with that is what America brought from the army to fight against the Japanese in the time they prepared for the nuke of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So following the devastating attack at Pearl Harbor, Japan's military leaders knew that they had to act fast to create the new Japanese empire, make themselves being stronger to prepare to fight against America before they recovered their strength. In the lightning campaign that followed, the Japanese conquered most of the Asian Pacific seaboard and looked set to invade India and Australia. Before the attack, Admiral Yamamoto, the person who had declared that Japan has awaked the most fearful tiger in the Second World War, which is America, a person who has a very clear vision of the world, has promised, I'll give you all a wild show for 6 months. But he went off to say, if the war drags on 2 or 3 years, I cannot be confident of the outcome. And his words were truly prophetic. The first 6 months saw Japanese success that overshadows even Hitler's triumphs. Their targets were the Allies' colonies in the Pacific and the Far East. Many the yeah before the year end, they had captured Hong Kong and invaded Burma, Malaya, Borneo, and the Philippines. In February 1942, they defeated the British troops in Singapore that have the amount of troops 3 times more than them. So the Japanese media described this sudden expansion of the empire as the greatest East Asian prosperity sphere and coined a slogan, Asia for the Asiatics. But within the days of occupation, the conquered people quickly came to realize that the new government, Japanese, are no better, even worse than their old government, which is the European, that has the power to rule them previously. In a deliberate policy to encourage the citizens to surrender rather than fighting back, the Japanese government has ordered their soldiers to subject to indiscriminate massacres and rape the citizens by the Japanese army. Like the Japanese government, in order to encourage the colonies citizens that they has conquered to surrender and having like okay, good manners, you could say, or sometimes you just need to say that they are willing to cooperate with the army. They order their soldiers to fear the citizens by killing them freestyle, all right? They just kill whenever they want and rape the citizens so that they are not willing or they are too fear to stand up. And this, yeah, I guess this is not very efficient things because in the past we already see a lot of things like this, and its outcome is always a bad end because yeah, when you're making people hate you, they might fear you in the first, but when things get too much, they will eventually risk all they have. All right. Next is the reason that the Japan can succeed during these first years of their plan in making the empire bigger. So the reason that Japan achieved these extraordinary victories by having several clear advantages over its enemies. At the beginning, the Japanese navy controlled the sea and could protect the troop ships needed to ferry soldiers to these new territories, which means they could make they could make a fence to protect their territories that they captured from the colonies quicker, better, faster, and safer than the other countries during that time. The next thing that the force defending many of the places they attacked were very quick. So I guess this is what the Admiral Yamamoto blamed on because all of the campaigns that Japanese made to attack the colonies in the European was always in a quick point. And of course, because of that, the Japanese army fought with a greater ferocity and also a great plan. So they often defeat opponent which is more than them in the amount of weapons and soldiers, but still win. Then by May 1942, Japanese fighting force had more than exceeded expectation. The plan now was to defend the newly conquered territories so fiercely that the America and Britain would have to accept that they have lost them. But the Japanese, even when get more than what they expect to get, still underestimated the power of the most strongest, the strongest country on the world, the United States, and the stunning outrage that they had provoked from the Pearl Harbor event. After inspecting the damage at Pearl Harbor, one American admiral has squared that before we settle it with them, the Japanese language will only be speak in hell. And in spring 1942, America was about to strike back, and Japan's movement of triumph at this time was officially over. And this is the second part of the yeah, okay, of the of the Pearl Harbor, sorry, of the Pearl Harbor event, and how that the Japanese tried to prepare for the America encounter. It is a little bit amusing to think that countries like Japan never do something, and America could recover so quick that just in a day they could recover the strength and get their nuclear bombs ready so that they could fire it into Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Of course, I know this is very like hard to even imagine about because yeah, it's nonsense. How can a country can recover so quick and how that the Japanese never prepare anything? This is a very solid question for the citizens or for the people around the world, especially those who don't have the interest in history like me in the past. In the past, I used to think that yeah, well, the America would just kill everybody in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in just one blink of an eye because yesterday of that event they attacked the Pearl Harbor. I lack of investigating in the history when I was a kid, and because of that, now when I know that the Second World War officially happens longer and more detailed than what I have heard, I thought that this would also be a very nice thing to say with you guys, especially who are not understand about this event but also know English, so that you guys could make it clear in your minds about some questions, some problems that you never had a chance to think about. So that's all I want to talk to you guys today about how that the Japanese news empire come to its peak and then come to the end. All right. So that's all I want to talk to you guys today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in my next video. And now I think it's time for a second. By then, see ya.